Have you ever felt like your life would be better if you were someone else? What if true happiness isn't about changing who you are, but embracing what you already have? Once in a land filled with lush green forests and sparkling rivers, there lived a crow who was deeply unhappy with his life. No matter where he went, he felt like an outcast, unwanted and unloved. He often sat on a tall oak tree, gazing at the sky with sorrowful eyes, wondering why life had been so unfair to him. One day, overwhelmed by his misery, the crow began to cry. His tears fell like tiny pearls, and one happened to land on the cheek of an elderly woman sitting under the tree. She was a wise soul, known by many in the village for her kind heart and deep understanding of life. Startled, the woman looked up and saw the crow sobbing. "Why do you cry, my friend?" the woman asked gently, her eyes full of compassion. The crow, his voice heavy with sorrow, replied, "Oh wise one, I am tired of this life. No one likes me. Wherever I go, people chase me away. They never offer me food or kindness. I feel worthless. Death seems better than such a life." The woman's heart ached for the crow. With a kind smile, she said, "Happiness is not found in changing what you are, but in embracing who you are." But the crow shook his head and sighed. "I don't understand. If only I could be someone else, I would be happy." Seeing the crow's distress, the woman offered a solution. "Tell me, what would you like to become? With my wisdom, I can guide you to your desires." The crow's eyes lit up with hope. "Oh wise one, please make me a swan. They are so beautiful and loved by all." The woman nodded but proposed, "Before I change you, go and ask a swan if he is truly happy. I will wait for your return." Eager to fulfill his dream, the crow flew to a serene lake where a swan gracefully glided across the water. The lake shimmered under the golden sun, and the swan looked like a creature from a dream. "You must be the happiest bird in the world," the crow said. "Your white feathers shine like the moon." The swan sighed and replied, "I thought so too, but I lack the vibrant colors of the world. I am plain. If only I were as colorful as the parrot, I would be happy." Hearing this, the crow flew to find a parrot perched on a mango tree. The tree was lush and full of ripe fruit, and the parrot's bright feathers stood out vividly against the green. "You are so colorful and loved by many. Surely, you are the happiest bird," the crow said. The parrot shook his head. "My colors make me a prisoner. People put me in cages to admire me. I long for freedom like the peacock who roams in grandeur." Curious, the crow journeyed to a grand zoo where he saw a peacock dancing before a crowd. Once the people left, the crow approached him and said, "You are so admired and beautiful. Surely, you are the happiest of all." The peacock lowered his head and said, "My beauty is my curse. People keep me trapped and pluck my feathers for their use. I have often envied you, dear crow, for you are free to fly wherever your heart desires." The crow was astonished. "You envy me? But I have always wished to be someone else." The peacock smiled kindly. "Freedom is the greatest gift of all. Be grateful for what you have." Reflecting on the peacock's words, the crow returned to the wise woman and said, "Oh wise one, I no longer wish to be anyone else. I am grateful for the life I have." The woman nodded with a knowing smile. True happiness comes not from becoming someone else, but from appreciating what you already have. From that day on, the crow embraced his life with newfound joy. He soared freely through the skies, grateful for the blessings he had once overlooked. As you reflect on this story, remember that true happiness lies not in comparisons but in self-acceptance. Each of us has unique gifts and freedoms that others might envy. When we focus on what we have rather than what we lack, life becomes more fulfilling and joyful. You see, life has a funny way of making us believe that happiness lies somewhere else, somewhere beyond our reach, in another person's shoes, in a different set of circumstances. We often fall into the trap of thinking, if only I looked different, had more, or lived another life, I'd finally be happy. But the truth is, chasing after what others have never really leads to fulfillment. The crow in our story thought that being a swan, a parrot, or even a peacock would bring him happiness, yet each of them had their own struggles and longings. It wasn't until he took a step back and saw his life from a new perspective that he realized the freedom and beauty of simply being himself. And isn't that true for all of us? How often do we compare our lives to others, friends, celebrities, or even strangers on social media, only to feel that we're lacking? But here's the reality, everybody has their own challenges, even those who seem to have it all. The swan wished for color, the parrot feared captivity, and the peacock longed for freedom. Each of them, just like us, was too busy focusing on what they didn't have rather than appreciating what they did have. What if, instead of wishing for something different, we took a moment to truly embrace who we are? What if we counted our blessings, acknowledged our strengths, and appreciated the little things that make our lives unique? The greatest joy comes not from changing who we are, but from accepting ourselves with gratitude and confidence. So today, I encourage you to pause and reflect. What are the things in your life that you've been overlooking? What freedoms, talents, or blessings do you have that someone else might wish for? Instead of chasing after someone else's life, why not celebrate your own? When we stop comparing and start embracing, life becomes richer, more meaningful, and yes, happier. Remember, you are enough just as you are. Happiness isn't found in wanting to be someone else, it's found in loving and appreciating who you already are. If you found this story inspiring, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more uplifting tales that bring wisdom and joy.